Lori here. It's 10:17. I'm about to start my reading vlog for New Year's Day. I spent the whole morning doing a bunch of filming for my YouTube channel. I'm about to head to yoga. I wanted to say that if you did see my last reading vlog, which was on New Year's Eve, you know that I did start The Thief by Megan Wayland Turner, and I'm just not, I don't know. I'm really indecisive what I want to do with it. So I'm going to put it down. I do have the audiobook, so I might wind up listening to it over the next couple of weeks after I finish my listening for Harry Potter. I really picked it up because I wanted to try to read something before the end of the year and just didn't go that right. So I'm going to go to yoga. I'm probably going to go get some lunch. It's my last real day off before I go back to work tomorrow. But I am going to pick up What to Say Next by Julie Buxbaum. I am doing a reading challenge today as well, like a readathon with a group that I'm in Facebook. This is a really, really short read. It's not even 300 pages, so I think it's really doable that I could probably finish this book today if I wanted to. But it just, we all know opposites attract. The tricky part is figuring out what to say next. I think it just follows these two characters, and they're both kind of dealing with a lot, and I think that their paths unexpectedly cross. So I am going to go ahead to yoga. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to hopefully just spend the rest of the day reading, maybe prepping a little bit for tomorrow. It's always hard going back to work on a Thursday with students, so we'll see what I wind up doing. But I do have a lot of smaller reads that I would love to tackle today and just start 2020 strong. But yeah, that's my plans. I'm going to head to town, and I will talk to you guys when I come back and let you guys know how much reading I was able to accomplish. Talk to you guys in a bit. It's Lori here. I just got back from yoga. It is almost 1 o'clock, and I'm finally going to start this readathon. I started a little bit late last night, but I didn't really make a lot of progress. I am still reading What to Say Next by Julie Buxbaum, and I'm going to keep reading that. I got this for Christmas, so it's actually one of the prompts for this reading challenge I'm doing. I would link it, but by the time I post this video, it's going to be over. But I'm going to dive into that. I'm also going to watch, I was almost done with Haley and Bookland's Bookmas video, so I'm going to watch that, and then I'm going to go back to watching Runaways, and I'm going to have a nice day. I have to go back to work, tomorrow. I still have a small cough, so I'm just trying to not talk as much. But I'm going to film a video for you guys, and I hope you guys are having a great New Year's, and I'll talk to you guys for when I get at least 50 pages in. I want to at least feel 50 pages into the story before I update you guys. Talk to you guys in a bit. Hi, Lori here. I'm back. I just want to do a quick update on What to Say Next by Julie Buxbaum. This book is it's just a very, very interesting read. It's definitely a harder read, but I wouldn't call it as hard as Katie McGarry or an intense read. But it basically follows these two characters. You guys know how I feel about dual contemporary novels. I love them. I love when you're getting both characters' heads. I feel like you really are much more invested in the romance. At least I am. So basically follows this guy named David, and David is a very unique character. David reminds me a lot of what I would imagine Sherlock Holmes would be, but in a kid's body. He's very analytical. He's very he has I would say he doesn't think he has Asperger's, but autism or something. He's very he has a hard time connecting to people, and he even makes a notebook list of all the time he encountered someone, so he has a hard time in social situations. So he's one character, and then you have this other girl named Kit, who is a character that's dealing with a lot. Her dad just died in an unexpected accident, and their paths wind up unexpectedly crossing. And I'm just really liking it. I'm loving David as a narrator. I love characters like that because it's a point of view that I like science-minded people like that, and that's the way I see his brain. But I'm curious to see if it's going to be more friendship or romance. I'm on page 26. It's just a very, very quick read. I got this for Christmas, and said I keep reading, so I'm also watching my my booktube videos that I'm a little bit behind on, and then I'm probably going to watch Runaways at some point and hopefully finish out the season. I don't know if we're going to get a second half or not, but when I get up to page 50, I'll check back in with you guys. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Hey, Lori here, just checking back in. It's almost 3 o'clock, and I did wind up reading a little bit more. I did get up to page 60 and What to Say Next, and I'm really liking these characters. They're super fun, and I'm really thinking that the parent dynamics are super interesting, and I just think it's interesting. I think Kit's dealing with a lot. She's dealing with the aftermath of her father's death, and her, she kind of struck up this not weird, but an unexpected relationship with this boy, and it's just kind of interesting. I'm curious to see where this book goes, and I'm just gonna keep on reading, and I'll check back in and let you guys know my thoughts. But right now, it's a really fun contemporary, and it's an easy book to read. is dealing with like a lot of harder topics like relationships and parental drama and grief and stuff like that, but it's not it's not intense like right now. It may get intense, but we will see. But back to reading I go. Hey, Slurry here. It's 5 o'clock, and I did make a little bit more reading progress on What to Say Next by Julie Buxom. I'm now on page 113. This book is getting really interesting. I'm really liking the differences between these characters. They're really interesting, and it's just like it's definitely a more hard-hitting emotional contemporary, especially for Kit. I think she's dealing with a lot. Something was just revealed about her parents. Her dad has died at the start of the book, but secrets are slowly being revealed. But I love David as a character. David is just a character after my own heart. He's such a cinnamon roll. He's so sweet. But it's, you know, it's him and Kit's relationship are really interesting because they're total opposites. Like in every aspect of their life, they're total opposites. And Kit's going through so much. So, and now a mystery element has been presented about maybe them investigating investigating the accident that took her father's life. I'm still a little bit unsure if she was in the car or not. That hasn't been made clear to me. So yeah, I'm gonna dive back in and see how much progress I can make, and I'll check in with you guys in like 50 more pages. Talk to you guys in a bit. Hey, Slurry here. Just checking back in. It's 7:04. I'm gonna go get a quick snack. I just wanted to check in and say that I did get up to page 168 in What to Say Next by Julie Buxom. This book reminds me a lot of something that happened in my high school. Well, not my high school, but with a group of my friends. They wrote this notebook that, like, they would write, like, information about our classmates in it. And I remember they were always so afraid that the book was going to get into, like, other people's hands. And this was, like, a while ago. The book doesn't exist anymore. But that's what David does. David is a very socially... He doesn't have a lot of social cues. I think he's dealing with a lot of issues. So he writes down information about his peers in like a very like scientific way. And in this book, that information has gotten out to the general public, and he's kind of dealing with that. And as a kid who's so socially awkward, it's just heartbreaking to read. And then you see Kit, who's, you know, her and David have really developed like a relationship and like a friendship, but she's also dealing with the stuff about her dad and her mom. So they're both dealing with really complicated things. It's a very like interesting novel, one that I haven't read before, but I really do like it. It does deal with grief, and they're also like on like a mystery train, which I'm really liking. And it's, you know, you could definitely tell she's going through the 5 stages, like the stages of grief. A while ago, I said that when I was watching 13 Reasons Why, the first season, I saw that a lot in Clay. I didn't get it. I still have to finish season 3. That will be a goal for 2020, I mean. But I do like it. I really think David as a character is really, really sweet, and I'm really liking him. So I'm going to go get a quick stack. I'm on page 168, and this book is like, it's a little bit over, it's like a little bit under 300 pages. So I'm going to see how far I can realistically get tonight. If I don't finish it, I'm not going to worry, but I would like to make some more progress. I also really do want to watch the last 2 episodes of Runaways, so that is a plan of attack too. So yeah, I'm gonna go get a snack, and I'll come back and let you guys know in a little bit how much more I have read. Hey, Slurry here, just checking back in. I definitely did not complete my plan. My plan was to finish my first read of the year in one day, and that just did not happen. But I did make a pretty good amount of progress on What to Say Next by Julie Buxom. I'm now on page 212, which means I have about 80 pages left, which means I will definitely finish this book tomorrow. But I'm really liking it. I'm liking the dynamics between the characters. I think it's a very, like, it's like a nice balance between a very, like, intense contemporary, but also one that's, like, kind of lighthearted. It does deal with a lot of harder issues, like, grief. And I'm loving David's character. I think you don't see a lot of characters that deal with these types of issues in YA literature. Like, he definitely has Asperger's or something like that. And I really, like, I'm enjoying his portrayal, and I'm loving the dynamics with his character. I'm just really liking it. Like, it's a very, very strong read. The pacing isn't as fast-paced as I would have liked. It's a little bit of a slower-paced novel, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I also am watching Runaways, which I really want to dive into and complete for the evening. I don't know if we have more episodes. I'm going to have to go look that up, but we only have 10 episodes. I really hope we have more because it's going to be a very, very long wait. But I will definitely check back in tomorrow. Tomorrow's my first day back at work, and I kind of left my theater a mess the day that I left because I was getting over being sick. We had a choir concert, so I don't even know what I left my theater looking like. So tomorrow's just going to be a little bit challenging, I think, just to get everyone back on the same exact page. So that's my plan for tomorrow. I will let you know how that goes in my update when I come home. I'm trying to be a little bit better about going to the gym, which it will be a little bit more challenging this semester because I am doing a production. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try to go to the gym 3 times a week, which is going to be a little bit challenging, or 2 times a week. Just depends on what days I don't have to stay for rehearsal. I've talked about this in a lot of my other videos. Last year, I had no work-life balance, and all I did was do my show. So I'm really trying to only have rehearsal 2 times a week. But that might not happen. So that's my plan of attack. I want to only have rehearsal Tuesdays and Thursdays. We will see. But I am going to go watch The End of Runaways, and I don't think I'm going to read for the rest of the evening. I've also said that I'm going to stop rushing my reading, and I'm just going to enjoy when I have time to read. And I always am really afraid that I'm not going to make $100, and I think I'm going to make $100. I make $100 every year. So I'm just going to take my time. And what I might do tomorrow morning is I might actually read this on my commute in and not listen to anything. Because I don't have an audiobook right now. I'm just finishing the end of Harry Potter, my podcast episodes. So I will probably read this tomorrow and take probably Warrior of the Wild with me, I think. So I will update you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys for spending New Year's Day with me. And I will probably finish this reading vlog probably Friday. It depends on how much content I have. But I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, hopefully with some fun stories about my first day back from winter break, I guess. Hey, Laura here. I'm back. It's 6:30. I just got home from work a little while ago. I took a shower. I worked out a little bit. I didn't go to the gym, which was my plan because I realized once I got to work and had done my whole day that I went to work in snow boots. But I did wind up completing What to Say Next by Julie Buxbaum. I found this book to be so fun. I think there was a mystery element that I think wasn't as captivating or as well planned as I originally thought. But I will say I loved David in this book. David is the character that has Asperger's or autism. But I really loved his point of view. I thought he was such a sweet character, and I really, really liked him. I don't think you see a lot of Davids in the world or in YA literature, and I just really, really thought their relationship was super fun. That was the highlight for me, them relating to each other. I think I struggled a little bit more with Kit at the start of a book, and then at the end I kind of realized why I struggled with her. But I really liked it. I definitely want to read more by Julie Buxbaum in the future. But it was a very, very strong read, and I gave it 4 stars. Then, on the way home, I wound up picking up Warrior of the Wild by Tricia Levasseur, and I'm now on page 28. I don't know much about this book. I'm only 28 pages in, but I know it's about this girl named Rashmira, I think. I can't say that. She's in this society where you basically become a warrior to save them from the gods, who are kind of using your village as tribute, and she's about to go into her trial to be a warrior. I've read the back, so I know kind of what happens, but I'm excited. I really like the pacing, and I really like the writing. I have loved Tricia Levasseur's other books. I love Daughter of a Pirate King and Daughter of a Siren Queen, so I'm going to head back to this, and I will hopefully update you guys when I get up to at least page 50, or when the twist happens that I know is going to happen. My own fault because I read the back of the book, but I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Oh my god. I am reading Warrior of the Wild. And I had this book is it's really good. It's a very, very fast-paced story, and now I realize why that plot twist was in the summary. But boy, was that an unexpected twist. There's something that happens on page 46 in my arc that I'm just what? So now it makes sense why the plot's gonna happen, but that was surprising. Tricia Levasseur really does write relationships really, really coolly, and I really did I'm loving the pace of it. It's a very, very fast-paced story. It's very, very action focused. It reminds me a little bit of Tiger Queen from Annie Sullivan. There's no real magic in it. Well, there's like professions, but now I have to go read because I'm like screaming at my book. I just had to come in and say like that was an unexpected twist that I didn't see the story going that way necessarily. Um, but yeah, so back to reading I go. Hi guys, I'm back. I just want to kind of summarize this book a little bit. It's literally all on the back flap. So if at this point you don't want to know anything about this book, maybe don't watch this part of the reading vlog, but it's literally on the back cover. So there's this girl named Rhaenyra, I think is how you say, and she is in this warrior society. And in this village, you can have a bunch of different professions. One is a warrior. There's like a healer. There's jewelry makers, and she is the daughter of the leader of her town. And her town is like one of the towns that is eligible for like you have to give a sacrifice every year for these gods. And at the end of your 17th year, you wound up going through a trial where you win and you can become a part of your class. And her trial is to be a warrior, basically. And she goes into this trial with everyone thinking she's going to be a success. Her dad is, everyone is so like, this girl is going to be a success. And she winds up meeting a boy who inadvertently, through a kind of things, kind of sabotages her. So now she's dealing with the repercussions of that, and it's very emotional. She's a very like interesting relationship with her mother, which you don't normally see in YA. Normally, like the mother is either dead or like not dead, but nice, and because you can say so. The relationship with her mother is super interesting. I'm really curious to see where this book goes. I know that she has to try to make amends or try to like overcome this, but I'm really liking the fast-paced nature of the story, and I think Trisha did a really good job of setting up a relationship and then kind of like crushing it in like 50 pages. But I really do like the world and I really do like the characters. And again, it's just her writing style, even with the other series that I read, was very, very fast-paced, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I just wanted to come on and preface that by why I was so shocked by that, because I really didn't expect the story to go in that direction. I was kind of expecting another twist to get her there, but again, very effective. So, back to reading I go. Hey, Slurry here. I'm back to check in. I'm really liking this book. It's very a fast-paced read. I'm still reading Warrior of the Wild, obviously. I'm on page 74. So now she is exiled. She's in the wild. And the one thing I was slightly curious about in this book is I had two massive theories. Her quest is basically she has to kill the god that is terrorizing her small community. And I had one theory that I'm still might happen about what potentially will happen for that. So now she's encountering other characters, which is the one thing that I really like when you have a book like this. I feel like it's really important to have her have interactions with other people. Since the first half of the book, she was very like almost like isolated because of her relationship to the like her role in society. She was just a very, very isolated character. Her relationship with her mother is so heartbreaking, by the way, and that's something you don't normally see in YA literature. Normally, girls have a really hard relationship or a complicated relationship with their fathers, but her mother, God, I do not like her. So I'm gonna keep reading. I'm really loving the pace of it. It's one of those reads that's like so hard to put down because you want to keep Noah's having. Trisha Lavasera's writing is just like that. She's a very, very fast-paced writer that keeps the story going. And I really do love her romances. I loved it in the other series, so I'm really hopeful that I do like it in this. This book doesn't even have to be about romance. It doesn't. I'm curious if it's gonna go that way or if it's gonna go the other way that I think it might. But so far, I'm really liking this, and I'm gonna keep reading. So back to reading I go. Hey, Laurie here. It's about 9 o'clock, and I am going to put my book away for the evening. I did get up to page 83, which is chapter 6 of Warrior in the Wild. I am really enjoying this book. I unexpectedly was not able to listen to my book, read my book on the train ride into the city yesterday because I was like squished between two people and I couldn't like put my arms out to read. but I am going to try to read it on the subway ride going into work because it's it's a very, very fast-paced read. I'm curious to see what this book is going to become, and I really like the characters that she's met so far. I think it's very interesting, especially to the dynamics she had in the first half of the book. But I'm really liking the outdoors elements, and yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. Definitely reminds me of books like The Tiger Queen because there's no real magic in this book other than the gods, which I'm really liking. So I'm gonna watch some Netflix probably, and I will update you guys tomorrow. And tomorrow's Friday. It was a very, very short work week. But yeah, so I'll talk to you guys tomorrow for another update. Bye. Hey, Lori here. I'm back. It is actually Saturday morning. It's January 4th. I did an update yesterday, which was Friday, just because I came home and I had gone to the gym and I had wanted to get as much work done as I could, and I just forgot to update. By the time I finished doing the work I had to do, which was not even everything I had to do, it was really, really late. So I will say that I did finish my physical reread and listening to of the Aloha Moha podcast for book 7, which I was really happy about. I still need to watch the movie and then move on to Beetle of the Bard. I was very surprised. I don't see a Beetle of the Bard audiobook, so I'm going to have to either reread my physical copy or see if I can find something somewhere because I'm a little bit disappointed. But enough about that. So, I did wind up making a bit more progress on Warrior of the Wild. I'm now on page 168, which according to Goodreads is 51% done with this book. Have to admit, I'm really enjoying this book. I really loved her other series. This book is just such a fun adventure. I really love the characters. I love the setting. And I'm loving the dynamics between the characters. It's really, really interesting. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's such a fast-paced read. I'm really enjoying the dynamics between the characters, especially because in the first parts of the Rishmira, I think you say, she really was very, very socially isolated from her peers because of her father's role in society. So it's nice to see her actually interacting with other people. I'm loving the LGBTQ representation in this book, how it's being discussed. I love the setting. And I said this before, even though this book has gods and that type of elements in it, these characters don't have magic. And I find that so fascinating. It's like when I read The Tiger Queen. It's another book that has to do with some supernatural elements or godlike elements, but the people fighting don't have magic, they just have talent, and I'm really liking that. So I'm literally hopeful that I will get to finish this tonight once I'm done with my work. I also started listening to Illuminae as an audiobook because actually these both are Time Warp YA Book Club books. I adore these audiobooks. I do. I love the full cast recording, and this is actually the first time I'm ever listening to this. The last 2 times I reread it, I physically read it. But oh my god, I'm loving Ezra and Katie. I don't think they're my favorite. I think that honor belongs to Ezra and Nick from Gemini, but boy, am I really liking it. So I have to do a bunch of work for school. I'm in prep for my show. We're starting auditions next week. That's what I did last night. Now I just have a lot of grading to do. So I'm going to go do that, and when I'm done with my grading, I will check back in and let you guys know what time it is and that stuff, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Hi guys, Lori here. I'm back. It is about 4:30 and I did wind up finishing all my work. I worked out, which was really nice. So now I'm going to go back to reading Warrior of the Wild. I did make a little bit of listening progress on Illuminae, but not a lot. I was grading things that I actually had to mostly pay attention to when I was grading. I had to read stuff because kids wrote me very, very nice stories. So I didn't get a lot of listening done, but when I worked out, I did get a little bit of listening done. So that's nice. I'm still on page 170 in Warrior of the Wild, so I'm gonna go back to reading, and when I get up to page 200, I will check back in. See you in a bit, guys. Hi guys, Lori here. It's 5:30, and I just wanted to say that I'm getting up to page 200, I think. Yeah, about 200 in Warrior of the Wild, which is actually pretty good. That was actually my goal, was to check in when I got up to page 200, and actually worked equally because these books have sections. So the section is called the Matugars, and basically what that is, you learn about it in the first chapter. It's in this society, if you fail your trial, like for your profession, you wind up having to be sent into the wilderness by yourself, and you're basically exiled. And the only way you can go back is to be with your family and your friends, is to complete your mugger. I think I'm probably saying that wrong. I think it's like mugger. It's here. This is it's called Mutugers. I don't know how to say that, but so the characters that they met up with in this novel, they're all kind of have their own challenges that they have to face, and now there's very specific reasons why they couldn't complete them. So now they're kind of getting to the point where they can complete them. So I guess the section is where they complete them. But so far, I'm really liking it. I'm loving the character dynamics the most. I'm really loving the setting as well. And I really like how it's a supernatural story, but the actual characters aren't supernatural. Like, I think the God element is super interesting. It reminds me a little bit of like Percy Jackson, because those characters were not necessarily magical, but they were good at fighting. So yeah, so I'm gonna go back to reading. I definitely want to finish this book tonight. That's my plan of attack. I'm also watching some BookTube, but I will check back in with you guys in a little bit. Hey guys, Lori here. It's 9:27 and I'm at the tail end of Warrior of the Wild. I have about 30 pages left, so I'm actually going to go finish it. So far, I'm really enjoying it. I think this book was so refreshing. I love the adventure. I love the setting. I love the dynamics of the characters. I think the pacing in the end was could have been a little bit cleaner. But other than that, this book really impressed me. Definitely going to be a 4-star read and a solid standalone for right now. I'm really enjoying it as a standalone. I love the characters. I love the setting. I love the adventure. I love the pacing in the start. Really, I have no complaints about this book. I thought it was a great read. Really, really enjoyed it. And off to reading I go. Hi guys, Lori here. I'm back. It is Sunday. Sorry I didn't update last night. I had finished Warrior of the Wild, but I had finished it rather late, and I still was determined to watch Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 because I'm in the middle of trying to catch up on a podcast, and I was trying to make sure that I had stuff to listen to on Monday. So I did want to finishing Warrior of the Wild by Tricia Levasseur. I will say I really did enjoy this book. I think the ending, the pacing, and the battle stuff towards the end, I think it lost my interest just a little bit. But I thought that it was such a solid standalone. This book, I guess it is technically like a fantasy book, but it's more of like, to me, like maybe like a kind of a dystopian read, because once you read it, you'll kind of know why I say that. But I loved the characters in this book. I thought the setting was really cool. I liked how this book was structured. Every like section had like a different title, which I really liked. I really did like the first half of this book. The second half, I think, could have been tightly wound a little bit, and I felt like it lost direction at a couple of points. But overall, I would give this book 4 stars, and I am dying to dive into her next book, which comes out, I think, in February. But I really like this book, and I really enjoyed it. So I wound up picking up The Nameless Queen by, I think it's by Rebecca McLaurin, I think. Yeah, Rebecca McLaurin. It comes out January 7th, so comes out Tuesday. So far, I'm really enjoying it. I'm reading it on my Kindle, so I don't actually have like a picture to show you guys. But it's a really, really pretty cover. But this book follows this society, this fantasy kingdom, where there's these people called Nameless because they don't have names, and they're like the lowest thing. And the way that stuff in this world works is that when the king dies, anybody in this community can become king. Normally it's like a royal or a merchant, and they just get this mark on their hand that says they're going to be the next ruler of this kingdom. And this girl named Coin, because she's nameless, I kind of named it, I guess, after like random things. Once the king dies, she gets this mark on her hand, and I just got up to that part, and I'm really curious to see what happens next. I'm really liking the pacing of that book, so I'm going to hopefully quickly be able to go back and read that, but I have to do some just like prep planning. This week I'm having auditions for my show, so I want to try to make sure that everything's all organized. I didn't read as much as I wanted yesterday, like at all, so I really want to spend a lot of time today reading. So I am off to keep planning and when I actually sit down and read, I will update you guys. Hi guys, Lori here. Sorry, my light's still on. I just finished all of my little errands, which I'm really happy about, and it's like literally almost to be 2 o'clock, so I'm gonna dive back into The Nameless Queen, hopefully make a little bit more progress on it, and then I will give you guys an update. I don't have a physical book. I have my e-copy on my Kindle, so I'm just gonna keep reading, and when I get to like 20%, I'll update you guys. It's not that long. I think it's only like 352 pages, so should be able to make a decent amount of progress on it, but so far, I really like the world, so back to reading I go. Hey, Lori here, just checking back in. It is almost 3 o'clock, and I did read about 15% of The Nameless Queen. I am really liking this world, I will say that. I like the structure of it. Now something has happened, so the character's environment has changed, and the characters she's surrounded with have changed a little bit, so I'm really liking that. I do love, and this is another world that you kind of get tossed in, and like pieces of information kind of are thrown at you as the character learns it, which I'm really enjoying. But I definitely do like this concept of like there's no real ruling family, it's just whoever. I think it's like who the king chooses. I think the king says a name, and that name is who gets the tattoo on his wrist, or their wrist normally. So it's just interesting that she's part of the nameless cast, which means she really has no family, and she's been chosen. I like the characters she's encountering in the new environment she's in. Sorry, I don't want to be too spoilery, but I am 15% done. I'm going to read a little bit more. I'm also watching some booktube videos that came out this week, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm probably going to decide what TV show I'm going to watch when I catch up. I have a couple of videos I need to watch, like, that just came out this week that I fell a little bit behind on, but I'll check in when I get, maybe if I get up to, like, it's hard. I'll read, like, 3 chapters, and then I'll check back in. Now I think I'm on chapter 5, so when I get to chapter 7, I'll give you guys a check-in. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Hi guys, Lori here. It's just about 3:30, and I did read a little bit more. I got up to... I hate when they don't tell me what page I'm on. That's the one thing I hate about reading on my Kindle. Most of the time, it doesn't say, like, especially if you're reading ERX, it doesn't say, like, oh, you are on page 37. It just says you're, like, 19% done with the book. So I got pretty far. I got a little bit farther than I thought, and I love books. I love, like, fantasy reads that they take a concept that's present in our actual world and incorporate it into theirs. Like, it's just really interesting. Like, the nameless population in this book is really interesting. I'm really liking that. I was correct, by the way. Before the ruler dies, he says a name, and that's the person who gets the magic tattoo on them that says that they're going to be the ruler. It's really interesting in this book because this character, whose name is Coin, that's just what they call her, she doesn't have a family. She doesn't even know her name. So I'm really liking that. And now she met a character in the place that she's in that I'm really liking their dynamics. So that's really interesting. I really am curious to see where this book goes. It's a very fast-paced read. I'm really loving the political maneuvering that's happening in this novel, and I'm really liking the character's main point of view. I love the characters we met at the start of the book. I really like them. I'm curious to see if we're going to see them again. I don't know if this is a series or a standalone. I'm going to have to look that up at the end, but right now I did make some personal, like, life goals, and I want to make a goal to, like, work out at least once a day, and I worked out earlier, but I want to try some higher intensity workouts, so I'm going to try a Zumba one that I found on Pop Sugar. I'm going to do that. I'm in the middle of listening to my audiobook, which is a podcast, actually, for the wrap-up of the Deathly Hallows movie, so I want to also make some progress on that, so when I come back, I will update you guys on how my workout went and if I am done with that episode, and then I'm going to get back to reading. I also did finish watching most of my videos. I have to watch, like, a couple of little ones, and then I'm going to probably dive into a TV show, which I haven't chosen yet. So, talk to you guys in a bit. Hey, it's Lori here. I'm back. It's almost 4:45, and I did make a little bit more reading progress on Nameless Queen. I'm on percent 25, and I have about 6 hours left, so I don't know what chapter I'm on. But I'm really liking this book. I love that this book is really, like, captivating and compelling. It makes me, like, as a reader, hearing about how all these people are talking about the nameless population makes me so angry, because it's like, oh my goodness, I can so see parallels to our own world in that population. I'm loving the character of Coin. I'm really liking her. I love how she's really like, she's so outside of this world. So seeing this world through her eyes, this political world, is really interesting. I also really like books that have like an endpoint, or like something that you're looking towards. I really like that. I love the magical power, the powers that this tattoo has given her. I'm just so curious, like, why she was chosen for this thing, like if he did it on purpose or if it was a mistake. So I'm really curious to see about that part of it. But as I said, the political stuff in this book is like really like making me like be like, oh my goodness, what you're saying is so problematic, but very, very fast, compelling read. I'm hopeful that I can get to at least 50% of this book tonight. I didn't make, for some reason I've been coughing more today, which is not good. But I've also made a little bit more listening progress on my it's not chapter by chapter anymore, but it's like episode by episode of the Aloha More podcast. I'm on the movie wrap up for movie 7, which I watched last night. Once I move on from that, I'm probably going to like pick up the Tales of Beetle and the Bard, which I do not remember the last time I read that book. I must have read that book when it came out, and there's no real audiobook for it. So I'm probably going to take a substantial amount of time, read The Nameless Queen, listen to that podcast episode, like finish it, because I have like 20 minutes left, and then tomorrow I'll probably, on the train ride home, I'll probably toss in a story, and I'm going to bring that to work with me tomorrow. So yeah, my reading plans tonight are to catch up on BookTube. I have a couple of more videos that I still haven't watched. And then I'm going to pick a show that I fell woefully behind on. Good news, I did finish watching Runaways, and I'm so sad because it's not coming back for a 4th season, and I really love those characters. So I am going to rewatch the whole series and finally read that tie-in novel that I have not read. And then I am going to find a way to read the Runaways series by Rainbow Rowell, because I really do like those characters. So that's just like a note that I made to myself. But, sorry, I keep coughing. I just ate, so that's maybe why. But I'm going to go read, and I will check back in when I get to like 40% of this book, or if something exciting happens. Talk to you guys in a bit. Lori here. I'm back. It's 6 o'clock. I just wanted to do a quick update. I did get up to chapter 8 in The Nameless Queen, and I'm like 30% done. I'm actually really liking this book. I'm loving the political drama in this book. I'm really enjoying the main character. The one thing, I have a hard time sometimes with, like, they introduce characters and they don't tell me a name, which has been happening a couple of times in this book. But other than that, really enjoying it. There's also some relationships are developing that I'm really liking, especially the one between her and her bodyguard. She gets a bodyguard in this book, and I think their relationship is so sweet. She also has a relationship that's developing with the daughter of the former ruler, who everyone expected to kind of get the tattoo, didn't get the tattoo, so they're having a really interesting relationship. But I'm loving the political stuff, and I'm really liking it. It's a very, like, I wouldn't say it's like a quick read, but it's one that I'm like having a hard time putting down, that I'm really enjoying. I'm really liking the characters. I'm really liking the pacing. I'm loving the setting. I'm loving this magic system is like very simplistic to like understand, but also I just feel like there's so much more to the story. I really cannot wait to find out why she was named and who she is. I have 2 conflicting theories. Right now, there's also no major romance in this book, like, as of right now. I had a theory that it was going to go a different way, but it's not right now. But other than that, I'm really enjoying this book, like, a lot. I think it's a very... I normally love political themed novels because I love the court intrigue moments. So yeah, I'm going to go back to reading, and I would love to make some substantial progress on this. It's just about 6. I normally go to bed at, like, 11. So I have a couple more hours to keep reading, and that is what I'm going to do. Talk to you guys in a bit. Hi guys, Lori here. It's 8:09, and I did actually wind up finish watching the choir show on NBC. I can never remember the name of it, but it has Anna Camp in it, and that's really, really cute. I finished watching the Christmas episode of that, now I'm back to watching The Good Doctor. I was putting off watching it because I didn't want to watch one of the episodes, but I got over it and I watched it. I'm also still reading Nameless Queen. I'm on chapter 10, which is about 40% done with the book, which is, I'm really, really loving this world. I'm loving the characters. I'm really impressed. I love the political stuff, but I'm also loving how she's embracing her past as a thief, which I think is really interesting. I'm still really liking the commentary on the Nameless, like as a cast of characters. I think that is probably the highlight of this book overall. I'm really liking what she's saying about that type of characters and how it connects to our society, like in 2020 now. Um, very, very strong. I am curious if this book is going to have an LGBTQ twist to it. I'm curious about one of the lead character, and her relationship with another character. I'm just curious if it's going to go that way. But who knows? I won't spoil it either way, but I'm just thinking it might go that way. But overall, I'm really liking it, and I can't wait to keep reading. So that's what I'm going to do as I watch The Good Doctor with commercial breaks as my reading time. Hey guys, Lori here. I'm here to wrap up this reading vlog. You guys actually got a much longer reading vlog than I was originally planning, but that's okay. This is the new year. This is the first reading vlog of 2020. I hope you guys liked it. I actually got a bunch of reading done. So for this reading vlog, I finished reading What to Say Next by Julie Buxbaum, which I really enjoyed. I wound up giving that book 4 stars. The next book I finished reading was Worry in the Wild by Trista Levisera. I liked that book as well. I gave that book 4 stars. That was a very, very solid read. I thought the ending could have been a little bit more tighter. And then I started reading The Nameless Queen by Rebecca McLaurin. At the time of this film, when I'm ending this, which is 9:50 on Sunday night, I got up to like 45% of the book, which is actually not that bad. So I'm going to I'm going to probably read for a little bit more. I'm going to go watch one more episode of The Good Doctor. I'm still really far behind on that show. So hopefully by the time I end tonight, I'll be at like 50%. And then tomorrow when I come home, I'll probably start a new reading vlog for the work week. This week's gonna get a little bit crazy with my show and stuff, but I'm still trying to find the balance between having a life, reading, and just having entertainment stuff in my life. So also good news, I have been on the hunt for a podcast about like books and entertainment, and I think I found one, so I'm going to add that back to my queue for listening, which is really exciting. And hopefully when I come home tomorrow, I'll have a bunch more stuff to talk about. So I hope you guys had a great first week of 2020. I hope you guys got a lot of reads done, and I'll talk to you guys for my next reading vlog.